command.
A base building is being damaged. Your base is under attack.
Give me orders. On station. Something is moving out your 6. As you order. As you command. On station.
All you.
Alright. Well, welcome everybody to this week's weekly podcast. Well, bi-weekly podcast. Today we're going to Robert. And we're going to be talking about... Let me just find the little listy poo. Weapons for the aircraft carrier. Well, the new weapons for the aircraft carrier. So... The little list here defines the Mach 38 times 4, so I'm guessing that means we're gonna have 4 Mach 38s and 2 Cepheus.
Yes.
What are they gonna do necessarily in terms of allowing the carrier to sort of defend itself?
So a big thing that we pushed it out last Saturday on a shadow patch, and essentially the idea is that it allows you more defensive capability when it comes to the birds, when it comes to the levy, when it comes to providing fire support. And I've been kind of watching and kind of taking a look-sees in terms of people and how they've been playing with it. And it gives you a lot more tactical choices in the beginning of the game, because you could find an area that you want to build off the shore. You could move the aircraft carrier right there. You could start evacuations that are cut down substantially in terms of time now, because the aircraft carrier can physically, where it moves, where the helicopters go to evacuate the civilians. But now you're providing fire support in terms of the weapons on the LHA-6 to basically just kind of Juggernaut shows up early, Standard. In fact, it held Chelsea. There have been times when I'm playing, I'll do drive-bys on Chelsea just to get her to leave me alone. Where it's she'll kind of come over and be like, oh, that base looks kind of tasty. And then she moves into the range of my Sea-Wiz. Bye-bye. So, and then she takes off running in the opposite direction. So it's one of those things where it kind of adds another layer of gameplay. And then it's upgradable. So you start out with nothing. and then from there you could start basically adding on weapons to it selectively via the C-Wiz and the 40mm, and just kind of go from there based off of your budget and where and how you're going to be positioning your aircraft carrier in gameplay. Anyway, back to you, Jerivar.
When you say you're doing a drive-by on Chelsea, it just makes me think you're just sitting there on the end of the carrier pointing to us like you came to the wrong neighborhood, fool.
Basically, because like there's been times where like, and even now sometimes I'll selectively build on a coast or like on that area on Western Treasure Island where there's that incline that kind of overlooks the bay, and I'll just have the aircraft carrier parked guarding one entrance in. So then that way, like, Chelsea just kind of meandered in, and it was over. She got, like, immediately lit up by the Sea-Wiz and ran away. And one of the things that we also did do going into the next experimental patch, that won't be, maybe it's today, no guarantees, but it'll most likely be Monday or Tuesday, is that we buffed all of the weapons substantially. So the Sea-Wiz and the anti-air guns do a lot more damage. So it's basically a lot more useful because like we were looking at a lot of footage online and what we were playing, and you know the guns just need a little more bang for their buck in terms of the amount of output of damage per second and their accuracy and whatnot. So that was something else that we kind of just tuned. Anyhow, back to you.
One big question that I do have to ask about the Sea-Wiz.
Yeah.
Is are we gonna get the bird?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, literally going into that, our audio engineer just put in the first pass of sound effects for the carrier in terms of its engine, its idling, you know, the sound it makes, you know, like movement, just the whole 9 yards. He just went through and just kind of added in the first pass. So you're going to get those. Like, he just mapped all the weapon sound effects for them, and he mapped the ambient sounds, and then he's doing the hovercraft next. So Monday, Tuesday, if there's not any revisions, they'll all be in, and then you guys will have a better sound field for the carrier. Anyhow, yeah.
Just have like 2 Sea-Wizes just going on.
Essentially. And then we gave them explosive ammo. So they actually do detonate around an area of where it impacts, like they do, like because they have explosive ammo in like real life. So you figure, yeah, they have that now. And it basically is devastating for when the Sea-Wiz do shoot something.
I tell you, you're giving me two of my favorite things: devastating firepower and explosive ammunition.
Oh yeah, because like it's just great when you listen to all the explosions going off because you get the round, so you get the base damage, and then you get the explosion post impact. So it's great for AOE when you have like units packed together, which is all the infected do all day long.
Now just to see if I can break it.
God help me.
I will make sure I break it just for you, Robert.
Probably, I believe it. I cry every time.
Also, so from what I'm reading here, you also cut out the rims 162.
Oh yeah, so we found that they were kind of redundant in terms of basically the two types of weapons that we had in the game. We were originally going to add in the MK38 and the RIM 162. And when I was looking them up and researching them, I was like, one just has a longer range. And then with the range that would come with the RIM, there'd be no real threat to the aircraft carrier in terms of close quarters. Like, nothing's going to get to it. So we ended up essentially cutting that out. It's in the real-world version of the aircraft carrier. But essentially it just didn't make the cut, and we just combined the rolls with the other weapon that we had. And that way, you know, things actually have to get inside the bubble of the aircraft carrier, where like the largest range weapon that you have is the MK38, you know, and then it's the Sea-Wiz. I'm sorry, actually no, it's the other way around. It's the Sea-Wiz, and then it's the MK38 when they get super, super close. So like the Sea-Wiz has the longest support in terms of basically being able to shoot to the max extent what the carrier can see. And then when things get closer, then the Mark 38s cut in about halfway of the line of sight. And then they can also engage air. So you figure like they're really good at just kind of countering birds, whatnot, that are like panic rushing you or something. Back to you, Dervar.
Panic rushing you.
I don't know, because like you figure like you could have birds that are rushing you. I mean, realistically, it's just birds and leviathans right now. I mean, you could get the marks to open up on standard infected, but you kind of have to go out of your way to kind of get super close to the coast for that. Typically, it's the sea whiz that does most of the work.
I mean, can I just park the carrier in a building?
No, you can't.
Just ramp it up off of the beach into the building.
I
There,
can't.
we have our fortress.
God help me.
You also added building of base units to the carrier. How's that gonna go?
Well, I didn't really talk about that too much last week, but we put it in there. And essentially, the idea is that they build on the carrier when they're moving, when you're not moving. It allows you to kind of keep unit production going if your main bases get destroyed. We're still debating with the idea of adding in maybe a little bird or like a black hawk. But, we're still kind of pulling our options in terms of should we go to that level of like giving them very basic air units, air assets. We're going to come back to that when we do the CERC Doctrine polish, I think. But for right now, we're going to leave it as is, and we're going to just kind of see how it feels in gameplay, and then just kind of go from there. Anyhow, yeah. Pretty basic there.
Yeah, fair enough. It's just nothing.
Yeah.
Also, I just saw someone say it's just a warehouse the size of Madagascar, just storing 4 carriers.
No.
Yep.
God help me.
You also improved the carrier navigation.
Yeah, it's been an ongoing thing. Whenever we notice this kind of bugs, people are reporting it. We will essentially just kind of earmark it and fix it in those instances. So we've kind of ironed out and kind of fixed some more issues. I'm sure that there are still some remaining, but that's been a big emphasis in terms of basically just kind of making the carrier as stable as possible when it comes to their movement. I'm sure if you're really, really trying and you keep telling it to click on, if you tell it to go on the landscape, I'm sure you can eventually get it to beach. But we have safety systems in place that will teleport the carrier back to water if like it ever like somehow magically ends up inside of a building. So there are redundancies in case that happens, but it's like you have to be really trying to do that at that point. But yeah.
Yo, I'm trying. I'll
Probably.
be trying.
God help me. I believe it.
Just the next screenshot I'll send you is just the carrier wedged into a building. Like, hi, I'm here to post my taxes.
Oh God. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I'll pray.
Oh, you can pray all you want, but you're not going to stop me.
Oh.
You've also added an ammo and gas resupply.
Yeah, that has been in there for a while. But repairing is coming either Monday or Tuesday in the next experimental, where basically it will allow us to units to land just to get auto repaired. So it's pretty straightforward. We got a lot of suggestions for that. It was already on the list, but it just kind of got omitted where it was like it didn't go in yet, but it is on our list to do, of things to do. So it's going to happen. It's going to be a thing. You'll just be able to land your air units anywhere, or ground units anywhere on it, and it'll just passively heal. The only ones that won't heal are like your flesh and blood marines, like not your units, but armored vehicles will heal. You'll still need like a medic or a triage center or something like that for like flesh and blood people. But yeah, that was fairly straightforward, and yeah, we did hear y'all on that, and it was already on our list too. What else we got on the list there, Var?
The hovercraft testing.
Right, so the hovercraft is the fun one, because that's really what's been taking up a majority of our time lately, is just kind of getting it situated. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I can show you guys the progress that we've had with the hovercraft, and then I'll put it live on the YouTube as well.
Hearing double.
Double? Just mute the stream then.
Hold on.
There's nothing I can do about
Trying.
that. Just mute the stream, because you guys, if you joined the stream on Discord, just mute it, please. Turn the volume down. There's nothing for you to hear. So basically, what I'm going to be demonstrating here is essentially what's going on with the aircraft carrier and the interaction with the hovercraft. So here we have the hovercraft and the good old LHA-6. And you can see we've basically just more of the same, just kind of working out the movement. We haven't brought online the rotors yet because it's more of a cosmetic thing. That's something that's going to happen the next couple of days as we just kind of iron out the movement and just kind of get everything functioning. One thing that's new that I'm going to show you guys right now is what we've been working on with the garrison. Now, we touched upon it very briefly with the GIF that I put in, but there have been several more enhancements when it comes to just generally how they garrison inside the aircraft carrier. It's a little bit more realistic. So if I tell Philip here to garrison into that aircraft carrier like I just did, he's going to basically line up with the back of the door. He's going to go to that green spot, and then he's going to basically enter the aircraft carrier like so. Now this is still pretty early. Obviously there's some hitching and some bugs going on there. But now he's in there. And essentially the next thing we have to do going into Monday, Tuesday is click on the aircraft carrier. There's going to be a button right here. And whoever you have on this little area right here, the elevator will go down. I don't think you can see the aircraft carrier. No, they hit it completely. But essentially, in the next version that you guys will see, this door will come down. And then when the door reaches the bottom, you'll get like a box that allows you to transfer people onto the aircraft carrier. And then essentially, you'll be able to see the aircraft carrier in here. You'll be able to see your units stored in here. And then you'll be able to deploy them like so. And then the aircraft carrier will come out. And then you figure you're good to go. Now you can see there's quite a few bugs where like it even came out the wrong direction and a bunch of other stuff, which is again why the patch didn't come out Friday night, is because you figure we're still working on those systems and essentially just getting everything to where everything functions, the door opens up in sync, the interactions are all in sync, because like even if I tell him to go in right now, he can get into it even while it's moving. So the idea is like they'll match the speed of the carrier, at least they should. Like he's there right there. So it's a little bit buggy. Is that the idea is that he'll match the carrier, speed up, drive onto the deck, and then essentially if there's a spot, he'll go all the way to the back of the storage area, and then the next one will go. And then the next one will go. And that way you'll be able to get 3. And you can see that there's also some water appearing every once in a while here. Currently, we're not worrying about this right now because this is not our final water. There's a brand new water shader that has been made from the ground up that we haven't shown anyone yet. It's not the one in the GIFs we've been posting because that's the Fortnite water. And essentially that's going to be added in sometime next week ideally. And that way it won't flood the interior of this chamber. And then on top of that, it'll be more realistic in terms of being able to react to the water displacement when the aircraft carrier moves. So there will actually be waves and not soap, but little bubbles that occur. Basically, real simulation going on in terms of basically the aircraft carrier and how it moves around the water. So
Sea foam.
Sea foam, sorry. So we'll have that to show next week. My technical artist keeps cheating on me and he won't show me. He knows I'm going to post it. He knows I'm going to show people on the public Discord. So he's like, no, you cannot show it until it is perfect and it is done and that they can't judge it. And I'm just like, fuck me, dude. I just want to show him something in terms of progress. So he's a perfectionist. So essentially, he just tells me it's like, somewhere in terms of like Battlefield 4 level of water simulation. So I'm just waiting here, twiddling my thumbs for basically this next level of water simulation with you guys. So essentially, once I get to see it, then I'll post it for y'all on the announcements channel. Otherwise, I'd be showing it right now, but he's holding out on me. He's holding out on me. So you figure that's the progress that we've had in the aircraft carrier. There's a lot of moving parts. You guys can see, like, here's the upgrades that I was talking about. I mean, that's already live in the experimental. We need to add proper back buttons here and everything else. And then you could degarrison this baby at any time, and then it just kind of plops out the back. And then from there, I'll show you guys what we're kind of working on for when it comes to, like, the shore. So let's see it. Yeah, let's see if little Timmy is gonna screw up. Oh yeah, I'm getting some performance issues on the editor. So let's see if it does it. Hold on. Let's see if it does it. It did this the other day when we were gifting it. Is that he thinks that he's a choo-choo that could. So when he's not. So like this is another reason why we're just kind of working on the experimental still. Is that like he does stuff like this where he thinks that he thinks that he's like a car. Let me set it to daytime so you guys can see without having to need glasses. Is that you figure this is another thing we're kind of working on right now. Is fixing it so he doesn't do this. And he just knows, hey, you can't fit in these areas. So how about you just don't try? So, like, you figure, like, he moves. He moves like a cartoon character. And then some of our technical artists were just like, maybe we should just add destruction now, because in cases like this, he could just be running over these streetlights or running over these like objects here. So then that way he can open up new areas to traverse. But we're still like maybe we should just wait for the Abrams, because then that would add another line item. So I'm gonna probably just at this point I'm gonna just wait till we add the destruction for the Abrams at this point. And then just use that for later on. Because again, you can see like he's totally buggy right now. And this is like a really, really early build of like, we have to iron this out, possibly build him his own navigation layer over the weekend going into Monday, Tuesday. And then that's what you guys will play. And we work out this badness. And then we also just work out the previous bugs that I showed you in terms of basically like the interaction between the aircraft carrier and the hovercraft, and then some garrison issues, because you figure we'll also be showing off the deflation system of this baby going into like next week. But the idea is that when you de-garrison people, it's going to basically deflate a little bit, and then these doors are going to come down. And then the units are going to basically like move down a dynamic spline. So there's going to be like limitations in terms of where you could de-garrison it. Because you can't just like move little Timmy like this. Like if you like do that, it's not going to let you. Like there's going to be like a corrective trace that's like, no, you can't. You can't let anyone out right here, bro. Like you need enough space for everyone to actually be able to walk and get out based off of who's in there. So you'd have to like have the vehicle face the right direction, click on it, de-garrison it, and then it would like the door would come down, and then everyone would just move out of it, kind of like what I showed you on the aircraft carrier, where essentially they would just like walk out to a preset location, drive out to a preset location, and then be released to your control. Is the idea. So that's in a nutshell what we've been working on with this baby right here. Let's see. Let me see if I can get him back home. I bet he's going to do something stupid. And then another thing, obviously, yeah, he's bugged out right now. I probably have to like hold his hand to get back home. And then another thing is potentially having it to where the aircraft carrier can drive off of edges like this. Not the aircraft carrier, the hovercraft. The hovercraft. So that's something that we're going to experiment with and see if we can prototype in terms of basically having it to where like you can go down some sides, but you can't go up. Because obviously you can't go up this, but you could go down it in an emergency to cut out of like having to go around to the city. Oh, look at that. It's like little civilians. Too bad I can't run them over. So you think, God, I'm horrible.
Your intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
He is among us, the civilian killer.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, so you figure, and then I don't know if you guys have noticed, but our technical artist has also been going in and adding in animation to the aircraft carrier in terms of like the radar and the other like various objects on it that like are animated and moving dynamically. Let me see if I can get a better perspective. There you go, like that. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Just stop. There we go. So you can just kind of see we've been kind of animating those and just kind of getting some of the moving parts in. I don't know why that one's not moving. You don't see that one. But the idea is that you basically were slowly but surely kind of bringing the carrier to life from a technical standpoint to basically just like a visual standpoint. And then you can see that these points here, these little Chinooks, are going to change locations in the future to give you more room to maneuver. These are placeholder locations. So odds are they're all going to be placed at the front of the ship because you're going to be using ideally from right here to here for like your units and your storage. So I'm sure people don't want Chinooks landing on top of their military units all the goddamn time. So that's going to be something that we're going to be doing. And then I'll show the garrison one more time. You can do it. Do. I'm really cool. I do like that feature. We gotta iron out that transition so that he actually lerps into it a little bit better, but it's getting there slowly but surely. And then you'll have 3 of those babies in there. And then what you'll do is when you start the game, you'll have a little like either we're gonna add it here, or that's a bug. We're gonna add it here, or we're gonna add a new window here where you can build hovercrafts, and then you'll just have a limit of a couple, and just kind of go from there. So, I mean, in a nutshell, it's everything we've been working on since last time you saw us. And we're super excited to basically get this baby out there so you guys can test it and just kind of tell us your feedback on what you like and what you don't like. So we can just kind of get moving on to the rest of the line items. Is there anything else on the list that I'm neglecting before we get on to the poll?
Fixing up the hovercraft navigation so it understands better where it can go. Working on garrison, redo the vehicle garrison animation system so to make it easier to work with for animators so they have control over the
Oh yeah, I'll brace for the rest. So you figure some of the other stuff that we did behind the scenes is reworking the animation garrison system for CERC flesh and blood units, so it's easier for Michael and code to basically animate and make more realistically looking like aiming animations for like when they're shooting, when they're looking at people. So like if a guy is on a little bird, Michael has more control over how he looks, how he bends, how he contorts himself on the skirts of a little bird, and like how he does it for like the Hummer, for example. So you'll notice that when we ship the next patch, they're going to have more like range of motion when it comes to the Humvees, when it comes to basically the little birds in terms of like looking around. Because like a big thing for us is basically we're using what we learned from making that third-person prototype to apply it back in the Cepheus Protocol in terms of best practices for replication, which is in terms of multiplayer. And on top of that, artist friendliness in terms of like, these are really easy to tweak, manipulate, and work with from our standpoint to a modding standpoint long term. And then beyond that, it's just the boring stuff of weapon balancing, the boring stuff of weapons spread code, getting burst fire more reliable, which we talked about briefly last week. And that's pretty much it. So now we're going to get into the meat and bones of basically the poll. So we did a poll. Let me just switch over back to the other thing, and I'll turn off that, and then switch this over. So we did a poll. And the results on the poll were pretty much like unanimously, like a pretty huge margin in terms of wanting us to fix the vehicles. Fixing the vehicles was a multi-factored issue. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the results of the poll on YouTube. And then I'm going to post it in the channel for those that don't know how to find it. Yep. And we're going to get right into it. So, basically, essentially, the poll is a couple of things. The poll is the vehicles having weight. in terms of like when it turns, the weight distribution, the suspension, the turning, like how a vehicle turns, in terms of like they handle like they would in real life. So that was part of the pull. The other pull was essentially just improving the navigation of them so that they understand when to reverse, go forward, go left, go right, back up left, back up right, being able to tell a vehicle to reverse, like actually like accompanying heroes, like that level of sophistication of like driving and mobility. And it's been something that basically I've been putting off for like almost like 6 months now, in terms of like we have the vehicles in, if not longer, but they're functionally, conceptually, but they're not really aesthetically pleasing, and they can kind of really they basically handle like an infantryman when it comes to their movement. So something that we've been waiting for was the Chaos vehicles to leave beta in Unreal Engine 5. Beta Alpha, and now that they're out of Beta Alpha, it's been in Fortnite for like 5+ months. It's more solidified. Now it's like, well, shit, like we should probably just do this before we do co-op, because it's going to benefit co-op. It's going to make it so where when the operators are playing, it controls like an actual racing game. So like when you play like Grand Theft Auto, or you play hell, even Fortnite, basically. Like when the cars have drag and they actually drive, and you have to learn the particulars of every vehicle in terms of like they all work in different ways because of their mass and whatnot, and how they're built and what they're built for. It's basically allowing us to kind of like tweak those parameters on a per vehicle basis and make it to where if you're playing an operator, it plays like that. When you're playing and watching in third person, it's like an RTS aspect of the gameplay, they drive like they would in real life. They're not driving, they're not drifting, they're not sliding, they're not doing like on the nose turns. So in some cases, they'll take longer to maneuver or get around some areas because they can't just turn 90 degrees immediately. They'll have to reverse and then turn left. Like it would be like a real person driving. So it helps on the immersion side of things. And it just kind of like is that final layer of polish, I guess you can argue, for like the animation, like the visuals. So what I'll do is I'll basically bring up, so you guys get a visual component of what I'm talking about. Let me put this on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I'll share my screen again. Let's see. I choose you. That one. Go live. And then it would be. So basically, what I'm talking about is like this system right here for Unreal Engine 5.3. They just released it very recently. They just did a State of Unreal a couple months ago. And it finally left beta. And it's a very easy tool set of basically setting up suspension and rigs for basically like really like realistic vehicles, and being able to kind of have like it simulate. So it takes the technical aspects out of our court, and all we have to do is rig and set up the vehicles to some preset requirements. And then once all our vehicles are converted over to this new requirement of Chaos vehicles, then we would essentially do the AI. Because like you figure converting over all the vehicles to this new process is essentially probably like, I would probably take like a week. But really what takes the longest process of it is essentially just doing the actual like AI that we're going to be writing, where basically the AI would understand essentially like how to drive, essentially go forward, go back, left, right, X, Y, and Z, and be able to understand the constraints of how the vehicle drives and moves to be able to make the best decision in some cases. So it's going to be pretty interesting when we get to that point, because you figure for those that remember, when I was working on the operator, we have the whole driving aspect. We had a key where you could switch to first person for driving every vehicle if you press numpad 0, kind of like in the video. So for like, in my mind, this is a better framework and direction before co-op to get this out of the way, because then it empowers more people that just don't like playing RTS games we can bring together groups of friends that like those guys like RTS, but those guys like third-person shooters. You can get the whole synergy of people kind of working together, where it's like, oh, you get those people that are like driving atlases around. You get those people that are basically like providing security for the atlases even, or those kind of things, or like, so that way like you can have players driving, you can have players basically moving around playing it like in squads and fire teams, because most people don't realize this, but like it was disabled because it was kind of broken, and we need to basically focus more on the operator more, but you were able to drive every CERC vehicle besides the helicopters in some of the older builds. But they didn't get enough attention to detail, and they drove like dog shit. So essentially, by us putting this in there, it's going to force me and Michael to go in and improve and basically bring those systems back to the forefront. So then that way you're able to, drive them, from a third person to first person perspective, like we had before. Let me think. And what else was? Yeah, it's a YouTube video that I just kind of have a looping that I posted in announcements, where it's kind of like a demonstration of just generally like the tool set that we're going to be using. Let's see, what else is there? So the idea now is that we're going to finish up the aircraft carrier. We're going to do the hovercraft, which we're already doing, like I showed you previously, in the live stream. And then we're going to do the the docking for the docks. And then at that point, it'll be a little more time for polish, a couple days up to a week. And then we're going to immediately shift over to the Abrams. The Abrams is going to be our first chaos vehicle that we're going to get implemented from a base level. So the Abrams is going to be basically like, it'll control with like the modern approach that you see here, or it's going to be our test bed for AI. So that Abrams is going to be essentially like completely different AI than the other vehicles in the game. And we're going to use that to kind of stress test and just kind of get everything working. And then once everything's working on the Abrams, then we'll port over all the other legacy vehicles like the Striker and the Humvee, and like all the other stuff like that. So then we'll get all that ported over after we get the Abrams test situated, and then at that point we'll do the destruction, and then after the destruction is situated, then we'll move on to the rest of the line items on the doctrine stuff in terms of like, okay, like we're gonna pick a section of the doctrine tree of like the mobile infantry or whatever. We're just going to finish everything there. Then we're going to move to the engineering. Then we're going to move to the airborne. And we're just going to do it sequentially like in that order. And then at the end, we're going to do an audit of CERC as a whole. Where the idea is I'm going to make a list. And then I'm going to get that list to the public, you guys, and be like, hey, look, these are the things that I've earmarked that we're not doing well enough, or it could be better explained, or it could basically be like better utilized, where they're not as like half-assed, where it's like it made sense on paper, it kind of works, but it's not amazing, like certain aspects of certain systems. So then at that point, I'll post that list. You guys will be able to look at that audit list, give your suggestions, and then that'll be the last part of the CERC list. The CERC doctrine stuff is kind of auditing, like the DNA scanner and like the DNA research, the DNA scanning towers, and then some changes, the civilian evacuation and civilian administration centers, where it's like there's some areas that need more finessing there in terms of like how the systems work, and then working with people in the community, even if in a voice call, where we're just like, this is what we're thinking, this is how it works right now. Where did you guys get confused? Where did it not make sense? Because again, the whole point of when we learn, like we finish the aircraft carrier and all this, we go into the CERC stuff, is I don't want to go back to keep editing CERC, keep, like changing the framework. When we leave that card, I want to be done with CERC. So that means from a UI standpoint, a UX standpoint, a gameplay standpoint, like the framework is all there, and anything we do like later on is after the campaign, when we do factions, or when we add post-launch content when we're out of early access in terms of like DLCs or something, I don't know. But the idea is that like CERC needs to be finalized, and that's the goal going into like the next couple of months. So like if I'm looking at the calendar right now, let me open up my evil calendar of evil. Okay, so if I were to guess, by next Friday, 10th to the 17th, is when I would argue somewhere between then is when we should be wrapping up the carrier and be moving on to the Abrams. And then it's going to potentially take us a week to have the first version of the Abrams that we show. So the goal would be roughly between the 24th and the 29th to have something that basically we've either shown you guys or is playable in a very ugly form for the Abrams. And then we'd keep working up that framework going into the 2nd to the 9th. The 2nd to the 9th, because once we have that vehicle framework done, adding the other vehicles in, adding new vehicles in is trivial. Because you figure we have a very robust weapon system programmed into the engine where like we can add new variations of weapons really quickly. It's just the modeling that takes a long time. And some of them we're going to be basically getting frameworks from like really high polys from like what is that website called, like 3D SketchUp, like where basically people go online, they look at blueprints and they model like 2 million, 4 million poly like Bradleys or VTOLs, and then we'll buy those to save time, and then essentially optimize them, clean them up, add the CERC logos, and essentially get them in that way. You can basically call them asset packs, but there's only so many ways a VTOL looks. There's only so many ways that a Bradley looks. So the idea is that we buy like a really like nice one, and then edit it, manipulate it, add our CERC branding, and then that way it kind of cuts down the development time of like a month to 2 months per vehicle. Because, I mean, you figure some of these vehicles can take a long time if we're building them from the ground up in terms of, like, looking and finding the sketches and blueprints online that haven't been leaked on the warframes or War Thunder forums. Or any other simulator game, because typically they're just leaked. And then we just, like, oh, look, that's how they're designed. That's the proportions. And then we just throw it in a modeling program and model it. So you figure that's kind of the idea that we're kind of using to kind of like speed up the process going into like this CERC doctoral stuff. Like for instance, the aircraft carrier we got from essentially a asset pack, and because we figure like that will speed it up, and then we're gonna edit it, we're gonna manipulate it, and it's gonna change over the next couple months to have more CERC branding, so that way you guys get things in a timely fashion. And then we can have technical artists going back and cleaning them up and essentially working on them while the programmers are like getting everything in. So that way it's a constant stream. And that's something we're going to be experimenting with and doing to kind of like speed up the process of like going, like, you know, wrapping up this year in an effective means. And kind of working around the constraints of the team, because historically we've always just done every vehicle with raw. The Striker was the first one, I believe, that we just did from a base that we bought online, and then we just built on it. But like then the Apache and those were like, that's why those were done so quickly, and so literally because it was just really straightforward. So that's something that we're going to be experimenting with going into this year to kind of speed up how long it takes for us to do the game. And then also just using the frames of like the Atlas and the Striker for building other vehicles and other systems like the mine thrower, mine deployment unit. I'm trying to think what else is there. Am I missing anything, Derivar?
None. Not
Okay.
that I can think of.
Any questions about the vehicles? The CERC doctrine stuff?
Can
I
we
guess
run over civilian?
What? The
Can
fuck? Why is that the
I like
first
how
question
that
that comes out of your head?
I like how that just silenced you.
I just like, God.
Oh my god. Oh my god, look at the
Oh,
fucking
yeah, I know, they're spamming Abrams. I know they're spamming Abrams, because again, the Abrams is the big kahuna. Well, all I can say is that the Abrams is going to be worth it, because with the Abrams, it's going to be the movement system, it's going to be the destruction system, so there's going to be a lot of moving parts, but once we get it all in there, once we get everything situated, it's going to look sexy. And it's going to add a lot more dynamism to the game because now you're going to be able to just drive through walls. You're going to be able to kind of like open up new fronts that you weren't able to open up previously, but still can the special infected. Well, they'll be able to Kool-Aid Man through some walls. So it's going to be pretty damn interesting.
We can do proof sure it doesn't exist.
For a boat system, which one will be like an evacuation place for boats? What does he mean by that? Oh, yeah, we're not adding boat evacuation right now. It's something that more is a wish list item. We've talked about it in the past, but it's one of those things where like we want to save that for, like right now, we're just using the hovercraft and the aircraft carrier as technical tests to see how hard it is to do aquatic combat, how well we can do it, and just build a framework for it. And then we're gonna go back and we're gonna go back to the ground vehicles and solidify like what we already have. Do the Abrams, do the Bradley, and then we'll come back to that if anything when we're complementing like doing an air force like drones, so you can launch from like the LHA or something. But those are like far off stuff.
Hold on, I gotta cut in here. Okay, no more. It's starting to get a bit spammy now.
Oh yeah, if the Abrams spam, we get it. Everyone wants the Abrams. It's coming. You know, I would argue that it'll be coming at least by the end of the month. But I mean, it should. I mean, we're working our best and our hardest every day to just kind of get what we have out there and solidified. So, yep, we can't wait as much as you guys can in terms of basically just getting it out there, getting something for you guys to play and try out and get your feedback. Trying to think, what else is there? I mean, I have the Abrams. I can put it into a map. You guys can see it shoot something. Like, what the fuck?
That may silence them.
Like, holy crap! Hold on. Let me just go and open up the engine again. You guys are like, you guys are like rabid towards the Abrams. Hold on. Look, I closed the SDK. Let me reopen the SDK and put the Abrams into a test map.
Ravenous mongrels, yeah.
Oh my god. I've created monsters.
Oh my god.
Okay, hold on. I'm like, you know that thing where like, you guys seen that meme where it's like you can't find your mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having that issue right now. Holy crap. I need to like increase, I need to increase the brightness of this monitor. Alright, so let me go find Mr. Kahuna. Ah, there's Mr. Abrams. I'll put little Timmy in right there.
This chat has officially gone to the Chaos Gods.
Well, I gotta delete all the assaults on this map because if I don't, they're going to rickety wreck anything that I spawn in to show you guys. Hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna laugh if there's no VFX for the Abrams.
Oh yeah, if there's nothing, like if it's just a fucking husk and that's it, it can't really do anything.
Oh my god, it is putting in work! I have not used this in a couple of weeks. It's just been my technical artists that have been working on the Abrams. It's so sexy. I don't know if I should show you guys now.
Yeah, I don't think we can show them.
I don't know if they can handle it.
Yeah, I don't think if they're ready.
I don't think so either. Alright, so here's the Abrams, boys and girls. It's a mighty beast. Let me go ahead and just basically spawn in some infected. We'll put 100 infected into the map.
The ravenous mobs are ready.
It's shooting the 50 cal, but it looks like oh, it's sliding again.
It's drifting.
Yeah, it's drifting like a motherfucker, and they can barely hurt it. I think the 50 cal, the smoothbore's firing, but I think the issue. Oh no, keep going, little Timmy. Oh no.
He did.
Yeah,
Perfect,
the balance for the armor is definitely. Well, I mean, I guess that was like 60 infected meleeing in at the same time, so I guess that does kind of add up there. Let me spawn in another 100. Let's see if the 50 cal is working. Let's put it in unlit mode. Go away, DNA research. Oh, you weren't supposed to see that. No one saw that. Oh, no one saw that DNA research tree, bro. Go away. You guys are too young to
Go
see
on,
that.
Robert.
Yeah, I don't think the 50 cal is not. Seems like it's not firing accurately enough. Run, little Timmy. No. No.
Let's suck
Oh, it's running them over. It's Semi running them over. Semi getting stuck on them. They are so fucked. They don't even know what happened.
Look at the corpses fly.
Oh my god, that's a lot of dismemberment. What did they say about the Abrams?
Now add in a mob of civilians.
Why? What is wrong with you guys? We're not recreating that fucking thing in China.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, we're not recreating that scene from China. Sorry, boys and girls.
Do it, do it, do it.
The Tiananmen Test Massacre or whatever it was called.
Tenement Square, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'll spawn a Juggernaut.
I think
Yeah, I think they're gonna need a bigger Juggernaut.
more. Spawn more. Spawn a Leviathan too.
Oh, you want me to spawn up Greg?
Yeah, let's get the Greg in there. Greg can deal with them. Greg can take it.
Put that work in, boys. Put that work in.
They're ignoring the tanks and going for it.
I think it's because of the targeting. Where's Greg? Is he on the map again, being a dick? Where are you, Greg? I think Greg bugged out in the test map. Yeah, Greg is gone. He just yeeted himself off of the Oblivion. Let's try spawning him a little bit closer. Oh, there we go. Run away from Greg.
Greg just turns.
Run,
like,
woman.
Stop, Winters.
Damn, they are laying into that. Oh my god.
I think. Okay, we have a lot to discuss after this, Robert. We have a lot to discuss after seeing that.
He is getting, like, the Abrams is just putting in work. Okay, alright. So, we're gonna. What's that one RTS where they just, like, you put people into a map and they just fight each other and you have no control?
Total Combat Simulator.
We're gonna Total Combat simulate this game. Hold on. Alright. We're gonna put in 4 tanks versus we'll do 8 tanks actually versus 10 Leviathans.
Winters is about to be like,
I gotta hide Winters on the corner because if I don't, she's gonna get yeeted and then I'm gonna get a lose condition. But in the editor, it doesn't really matter because I can override that. But let's see how bad this gets.
you're about to kill one. Yep, there's one. There's 2.
I think they're gonna like. I don't think I've ever spawned this many on top of each other, so I don't know if they're gonna bug out. Like they're facing the wrong direction even too. Come on, turn around, you little bastards. Oh, that's a lot of little guys.
The Gregs seem to really like each other.
Wait, that guy turned around. Come on, little Timmy. Yeah, the Leviathans are bucking out. Oh wait, no, he's going for it. He's turning around. Yeah, I don't. Oh, you know what? I don't think they actually see them. If I hit him, there we go. Hit the next one. Hit the next one. Hit the next one. There we go.
People did nothing.
You know, it was funny. People were asking me like, "Is the Abrams just gonna be a better striker?" Fuck no. Like, look at the survivability, dude. It's just taking hits like a goddamn champion.
Greg's running away. Run, Greg!
Get him, boys! You got him on the run? Maybe Juggernauts would be better. Oh my god! This is so bad.
Oh my god, a little levy hole.
Oh yeah, they're building holes. My god, they take a lot of hits. Oh, you know what? I think he might have built a... I think that they built a crap ton on top of each other, because this map isn't really meant for testing Leviathans. Oh, they're just missing because they're bad. Their spread code needs to be adjusted. How much ammo were they given? Quite a bit. Here, let's just spawn jugs.
The shitload on 'em.
Definitely they need some work. This is exactly why I was saying is I can't wait till we have the time to like just go in and rip out their AI and make them more intelligent. Cause they do stupid stuff like this where like they have to wait till they get hit to respawn. Gorillas! Watch out for the gorillas!
Threw a taxi at them.
Yeah. He's about that life. That's what I was saying with their super units. Like, all you're gonna need is 2 to 3 of them. Cause they're gonna take out like 10 pop. They're gonna, I mean, these are gonna be like maybe 5 to 10 pop when it's finally balanced and everything's solidified. Did I even lose a single one? I don't think I did. No, I put 8 in. I still have 8 Abrams. Like, they wreck face. Oh, I can spawn spitters. Hold on. Spawn spitter mob 25. Destroy them! Oh my god. This
Spitters are a perfect counter.
well, it's because they have piercing damage. We made the spitter so the acid melts the armor, and I think the other issue is that they're out of ammo. Yeah, they're out of bloody ammo. Hold on. That's not a fair fight.
Yeah, it was.
They have no ammo. That's not fair. And on top of that, they're being they're being spawned in like these massive clumps where there's no distribution. So it makes it like really easy for the Abrams to take out groups of 25 spitters. I feel bad for my frame rate right now.
Still right to me. Sir Commanding Officer, please don't spam.
Damn. Yeah, those spitters with their penetrating armor, their penetrating hits. There's probably like 100 spitters on the. Oh my god. It's a slaughter. Yeah, that was yeah, that hurts. So yeah, there's the Abrams boys and girls. We're just not putting it in yet until the destruction and the driving is in.
Look at the ragdoll. Look at the ragdoll.
What's that? Oh my god, what are they doing?
I don't know.
Oh,
But
it's
that's
that.
some fucking funny.
It's like that bug that you see in Mass Effect 3, where like sometimes like when the ragdolls are about to respawn, they like start dancing. I remember that when I was playing the third game. We still don't know why that happens. Like it's just so stupid. It's so random. Well, let's see. Is there anything else that's been secret they've been holding out on that's in the area? Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. It's just the Abrams. I mean, even then, the efficiency that you saw there, the Bradley is not even in yet. We have to buy that asset and then skin it. Because the Abrams is a unit that we bought for like, I think it was like $150. and then we basically spent like 2 weeks cleaning it up, optimizing it, because someone just built it off of a schematic or one of those like 3D websites. So we're gonna do the same thing for the Bradley. That'll take probably like 3 to 4 days because the one we're gonna get is more game ready. And then essentially, yeah, so we're gonna have to get the model, get all that situated. That's gonna be towards the end of the month because the Abrams is gonna take up. Yeah, the Abrams is gonna be first, and then it's gonna be the Bradley. When we have the Bradley, I'll show y'all because it'll be the same thing here. Where it'll either be on like a weekly stream, or I'll just save it for the end of the month because I'll probably end up showing the Abrams again at the end of the month regardless. Because you can figure the Abrams is actually missing quite a bit because you figure it's missing its active denial system, which you guys didn't see. It's missing its upgraded armor. It's missing its what was it? The other thing? There was another round type that it uses. It was supposed to be. I don't know. There's a. I don't know why this map is so bloody dark. I can't make out the details on this map. Let me see if I can turn the Abrams. It's also the shading of it. Yeah, it's missing the machine gun. Oh, it's the angle I'm looking at the monitor because I'm stupid. Yeah, it's missing a machine gun. There should be a... We have 3 guns on the Abrams. We have the smoothbore gun. We have the machine gun that is attached to the smoothbore that basically, essentially, like gets additional damage based off wherever the main gun is. And then there's a third gun that is independent that's on the top. That is the Crow system. And it's not even on here. I believe... Let's see. I don't know if this has been implemented because I didn't tell them to go down that far into the weeds. So I don't think it's implemented. But I can see if it is I could go to our day report test map, which is the one that you guys typically always used to see when me and Derek were testing out new systems. Because this map is set up for us to build in. The other one is not. Because it has like an example of like every type of object in it for us to really quickly replicate and test, like evacuations, condemning structures. Like basically this is where we go to kind of like test things very quickly. So I believe if I build a motor pool, I should be able to do that. Let me turn on slow-mo so I can fast forward. Alright, let's see. Yep, they didn't set it up. I wonder if these work. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That looks sexy. I don't mind me, boys and girls. Those are some sexy skins. That's why I was telling you guys earlier, all those like little cosmetics that you guys buy to support development, they're gonna support every vehicle until the end of fucking time that we add into the game. So it's like, yeah, you guys are getting like a bang for your buck is the idea. Cause we didn't want to nickel and dime anyone. That is so sexy. And look again. This is like it's not set up here yet because you figure what it should be is you can't change out the smoothbore, you can't change out the millimeter of the damage for the cannon, but the idea was that you can change out the millimeter of the gun on top to different like ammo types, and then you could buy different armor kits, and you could buy different defense systems like cage armor and active denial. But it's not in, because again, this is not earmarked to go in for at least another 2 to 3 weeks, you know, minimum. So, yeah, but you guys can see we have it, it's functional, and it just, that is nice. I gotta admit though, the Desert Storm is kind of my thing. Like the Desert Storm, definitely. That is sexy. Yeah. And then you can see, I think there's even one untextured element. So you see those little purple things? Those are untextured elements of the vehicle. Those are most likely where the modular Crow system would go, or like other interactable objects on it would go. And the fun part is that when we, oh, you want me to try Woodland? I'll try Woodland. I just saw that. Oh, solid Woodland, there you go. And then you figure the fun part is that you figure, let me see if it works. Come here, little Timmy. I summoned thee. I doubt it's gonna work, but I'm gonna humor it. Nope. Yeah, we turned it off because it was fucked up. Let me see if it works for them. Oh, we redid the weapon spread too. So the operator is a lot more like, me and Michael are slowly but surely kind of knocking out the operator card so we can get the co-op sooner. So regardless, while we have modelers and other technical artists working on the aircraft carrier, we're working backwards. So we're going to get a better crouch animation in going into next week. It's not going to do this stupid movement. It's going to be the proper speed. The melee will get some precision. And the sprint camera. So basically we're going to be copying over one-to-one everything you saw on that CPO trailer on YouTube to this prototype. To prototype to this, essentially. So then that way you guys can have a lot better gameplay. But you will see that the spread's a lot better for all the guns, all the dispersion. And then very likely we're going to be rewriting the recoil system. So like how it does this, how it goes up, will just be a little bit more like Rainbow Six Siege. But it's slowly but surely getting there. Oh, actually, let me see if I can. Let me throw in a vehicle. I think we disabled it globally. I know that I tested it with the JLTV back in the day. I don't think it works anymore. But it's going to be something that I'm going to be making my priority very soon, so we can get everything ready for co-op. Let me just slow-mo to get little Timmy in. We don't allow fast-forwarding in the game because it makes the game engine unstable. So it's basically one of those things where we only use in testing environments. And it's just something that we haven't kind of explored, stabilized out for, like, if you guys wanted to fast-forward. Yeah, it's not working. It must be broken. Because it used to be able to get into the vehicle. Well, I think Derek turned it off because I told him to, because I needed to get in there and just do it better from what I learned. What I will show, because I know most people don't even know this exists. Let me just show this before we wrap up. I don't think anyone even knows this is a thing. So if I call in the operator, and this is something that's going to be getting expansion as well in the future when we get to the operator card, which I'm already working on right now, is if I spawn in and I press the up arrow, I can command people to follow me. The vehicles are kind of bugging out for some reason, but the idea, let me turn off the fast forward. I don't think anyone even knows this is in the game, or even how to use it, but anyone that's in your squad that you have the operator in, you can give direct orders to, and they'll defend you and protect you to their death, like in Freedom Fighters. So if I press the down arrow, they'll follow me. If I press the left arrow, they'll switch formations. I become the bridge of the formation, so they'll do everything on their power to put me in the center to protect me. I believe the right arrow doesn't do anything, actually, I think. Yeah, it doesn't. And then down arrow will just follow, and then up arrow is move. But it also will issue a oh god, kill me. So it will also basically issue an attack order, and that's why we're doing the chaos vehicles, boys and girls. For those that were wondering why we're delaying co-op another month, for those Neo drifts, because that would be impossible to happen with the new system. But you can see, so just letting you guys know, if you guys are playing the game tonight, this is already in there, and you can actually control people in other fire teams up to key 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 0 selects everyone. So I programmed it so then that way, like, if you have like group 2 and they're like an assault squad and they're down the street and they're like a group of snipers or heavies, like you're playing an operator, you can select them with the arrow keys when you're an operator. Press like group 1 selected. Okay, move down that street. Group 2 selected, move down over there. Group 3 selected, you're gonna follow me. So that Arma and Freedom Fighters is where basically this comes from, and this is like my dream of kind of tying it in with the co-op and the RTS and the people that hate RTS games and your friends that like their person shooters. They like Arma, they like Silica, they like Freedom Fighters, like the old classic games. You guys can all come together and play together,
Oh,
basically.
Silica's a good game.
Absolutely. But you figure, so it's one of those
You
things
haven't
where it's
played
like,
any of
I watched you play it and I've watched reviews, fuckboy. God damn it.
You're a fuckboy. You're a fuckboy.
Yes, I am actually. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's the idea of just generally how it works, and I think it's going to be really great when all these systems kind of come together going into like the co-op end of the year, because you figure these systems will kind of flood over into the campaign when we get to that point. Where it's like systems and stuff like this we're going to implement to where it's not going to be your atypical RTS campaign. There's going to be third-person elements. There's going to be control elements. There's going to be like horror segments. Because the biggest thing is I want to make like a very different campaign when it comes to that. So it's like building up all the framework and all of the systems so we have this canvas to tell a story in, if that makes sense. In terms of like, it's unique, it's different. But it's just a lot. So that's why it's just like, ask for a little bit of patience here and there as we just kind of work these systems out and iron out the kinks and work with y'all to basically fix the bugs. And then again, like, oh, you know what? I think I could do it. I'm going to do it. Okay, here we go.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, God. I spawned him on top of
What
me.
right on top of you.
Okay, well, if that didn't work out like I thought it was going to. He was supposed to spawn where I was looking, but I guess... Oh, technically it's where the mouse cursor is, actually. So if I put the mouse cursor over there, and then spawn little Timmy, or Greg, then theoretically, I could show you guys, well, generally how the operator is going to work. Like, you know, the idea is that, you know, you can command units, go over there, micro them, while you're playing on the ground as like a field commander. Oh, Winters, you better not die, woman. Retreat! Oh. He just fucked off. He went to go to sleep.
He didn't want none of that smoke.
Yeah, he went to go hibernate. God damn it. Go away.
You stop bringing up that fucking DNA tree.
It's like an old, like, the DNA tree is programmed in, it's just not implemented. Because I programmed that. It's just, fuck. He went to go hibernate. So we have a system where if you don't kill them fast enough, they hibernate. They go back to heal, and then they come back mad, is the idea. So you can hear them sleeping under the map. If you move your camera around, there's an ambient sound, because we got the idea from Monster Hunter, because we're Monster Hunter fanatics on our team. So the idea was...
You fucking rise with me.
No.
Exactly, you're not a Monster
I'll
Hunter
rephrase this. I'm Monster Hunter World fanatic. Fanatical. So, essentially, yeah, he's sleeping. We didn't kill him fast enough. And then, yeah, so you guys can get an idea, because then that way it all kind of comes together, and it's just, it'll be beautiful, in terms of like how all these systems kind of work at that point. Damn it, did someone really take a picture of that crappy UI that I made?
Yeah. Yes, they did.
You goddamn trolls. And of course it's terminal.
Yeah.
Like literally, like that was like a checklist. Like, yeah, I'll just put it in the channel. Like this is basically my little checklist of like the initial DNA upgrades that we were doing, and it's missing like 5 per se of like the finalist ones, and then we got a UI designed. But again, the priority is the CERC and the doctrine stuff, and then when we get to that, we're just gonna basically just skin that UI, put it in the game, and then it'll be near the doctrine system. But we gotta make the virus more deadly at that point. What time is it? Okay. Wait, it's been an hour, so we hit our quota of at least an hour and 19 minutes. Because roughly, I like to at least have these about an hour and 20 minutes just to kind of fill the time, have some time to kind of chill with you guys. You guys got to see a lot in terms of basically what we're working on behind the scenes, what's coming down the pipe. I hope you guys are excited, in terms of basically what's coming. I know we are, in terms of getting all this content to you guys, and there's a lot more that's coming. And never nukes. No nukes. I hate nukes. Only thermobatic bombs when you lose in the polished stages.
Well, why can't we get nukes?
No,
Why
I
can't we
refuse.
just start throwing nukes at the infected?
What is that question down there? For the carrier, the floodgate gets an animation of chemical control. It's going to automatically open and close for the floodgate. So the idea is that essentially you would just tell the hovercraft to leave, or you would tell it to enter, and the floodgate would open, wait for everyone to be in, and then close. That's the idea. And if no one's pending to enter said carrier, then the door just closes automatically. If no one's around. If there's no one, because the system knows if someone's coming to it. So the hovercraft would communicate to the carrier and be like, hey, I'm coming in. So then the hovercraft, the doors would open, and then when everyone says I'm in, then it would close automatically, and so on and so forth. And if you tell it to go somewhere else in an emergency, then the aircraft carrier would just close its doors because you gave it a new move order. So that's generally the idea. God damn it, you guys are nukes. That's like literally no difficulty, easy win mode. Well, you just start nuking everything.
No, this is me when you're not looking.
Ah, god damn it. Let me see if there's anything on YouTube that I've missed, because I've been neglecting them.
And you're telling me. You said to me you've got multiple monitors set up so you can watch all the chats, but you haven't been watching the YouTube one.
So you can't Chinook lift the Abrams because it's too heavy. You will be able to load it up onto the aircraft carrier. Let me see. I'm going to just test one more thing before y'all leave. I was told that it was in, and I haven't tested it myself yet. Let's see if it's going to work. Where are you? I'm blind. Oh look, it's the old... Anyone remember this guy? From the old 2020 early access release. The old cargo... The old cargo truck from the NOMs. Yeah, that beauty.
I want to own a truck like that. I want to buy one of those trucks.
I've contemplated adding it back in as a legacy vehicle you could just use. It's really cheap, but it would be too much overlap with the Atlas, because the Atlas is a superior version of it. So we ended up just replacing that with the Atlas. So then here's the scout car, by the way, that I was talking about previously. That's going to be coming back in. Yeah, they got booted because nobody would use it. It's going to be coming back in with the Marines. So you call in, they'll land with this, and it gets para-dropped in. And then you just get a squad of Marines that basically are already pre-garrisoned to it. Where in the bloody hell is it? Hold on. Oh, there it is. I'm blind. So you guys can see it for scale reference. I don't think this is going to work, but, Yeah, I didn't think it was going to work. Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, it worked for her. Oh yeah, it worked, but she disappeared because there's no point set here. Because we have to write a dynamic system that essentially just says vehicle, 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 person, 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 vehicle, person, person. It has to basically be able to dynamically determine who would fill that strip and how many people can basically be in there. Because if you figure, I'm curious, how many tanks can we fit in this? I think 2. Yeah, we could fit 2. Reasonably 2, and that's it. And I would have that maxed out so you can't carry infantry either. Because the idea would be is you have to keep these lanes empty So 2 Abrams, basically, like those are 2 super weapons. You guys just saw how powerful they are. They are like planet destroyers in terms of basically like the work they put in. I mean, obviously, if you have like 100 spinners coming at them, they're done because the whole idea is you like you give support to your armor, like well yeah, like the mobile army doctrine where you have the tanks and you have infantry supporting them. So if you had like support and the whole bang going on, you can see where basically it would be a really quick like make work of like the enemies. Let's see. Military props for the bases. Please give us more generic military prop for the bases. Make a list. Yeah, make a list. Like make a picture list. Not just like a text list. Make a forums post. And then anyone else that wants to contribute to Terminal's thing, go into the forums CP, find her thread, and add your suggestions of what you would like to see for decorative items for your bases. And then I will grab everything you post in about a week, put it onto a Word doc, and then we'll see what we can do about squeezing it in. Because like I've wanted to add cargo containers and cargo container doors, like in that one Zack Snyder movie. God, what was it? The fucking cheetah. Not the cheetah, the lion. I don't remember the name of it. When would they rob that bank? No one here probably hasn't even seen it. You guys were just talking about zombie movies earlier.
What the fuck are you on about?
You don't know the movie with the zombies and the Zack Snyder? The zombie movie. You know what I'm talking about, Dervar? Army
No.
of the Dead. Army of the Dead. You've never seen that? You've really never seen Army of the Dead, Dervar?
Never.
You're gonna watch the trailer with me right now. Okay. We're gonna
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Nah.
You've never seen this movie?
Really?
Hold on. This
Remember,
movie.
we've still got to plan like the movie night and fucking game night and everything. So,
Wait, but you've never seen the movie I have on the share screen.
I'm not
It's
even
actually.
looking.
I hate you. It's actually pretty
Hang on.
entertaining, but it's stupid. It's a stupid movie, but I like the visuals. Like, if that makes any sense. Like, the visuals of like those really cool, like the cargo containment, and then like the fabrication of all that, and then like the sheer amount of infected and all that. You've never seen this movie ever? It's stupid,
Never.
but it's entertaining. It's like the Resident Evil movies. You don't take them seriously. They're not meant to be
Also,
taken seriously.
Yeah, Terminal. The game night's supposed to be Friday nights, I think I said, but we haven't really organised that stuff yet.
Oh, that's right. We still have to do that. Let me switch back over to the thingy. But yeah, no. But like,
Movie.
What?
That's a stupid looking movie. That has to be the dumbest thing I've seen so far.
It's entertaining. Like I said, it's like it's stupid, but it's visually interesting. It has some good ideas, but it's just crazy. Like it's just like there are aspects of it, like the cargo containers and the doors, and the atmosphere, and like the way the infected sleep, that are really really interesting. But it's like the plot's really bad. Like it's cringe. Watch it on Netflix, boys and girls. Plugged.
It's like we gotta rob a bank. Why? It's a zombie apocalypse. Because we need money. Fucking why?
No, it's stupider than that. It's like some guy that has like a locked deposit box that basically he sends them because the military won't let anyone go in to get his safe, and he has like a crap ton of money in that safe, and they're going to they're gonna like nuke Las Vegas in like a couple of days. So he hires a crew to basically sneak into the contamination zone before they nuke it, so they can get his money, and in return he'll give them a percent of the money. So that's the plot. It's a weird bank heist thing because again the government's like, no one's going in there. We don't give a damn about your vault and how rich you are, kind of deal. So it's like, oh okay, I guess. It's just stupid.
Is it to go and get something stupid like a picture or something?
No, it's like a vault. It's like a big vault with money in it.
That's so dumb.
Like, again, it's not. It's like Apocalypse. It doesn't make sense, but it's fun to watch. Just turn off your brain.
At least Resident Evil Death Island was fun to watch.
Oh, that was a good movie. Yeah, I loved that they did it in Alcatraz. Cause like you figure,
Yeah.
it was like, huh? I went because that movie came out like way after we'd been out. So I honestly wonder if someone from like whoever was working on the movie maybe played our game and was like, hey, they're doing Alcatraz too. That's a good idea. I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't know. Well, because
Probably.
what I'm saying is like art basically like people get ideas off of other people's art. Everything's alliterative. So I'm just saying it'd be cool. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying it's really interesting how we both chose Alcatraz. And Alcatraz has been public for like 4 years. So it's just kind of like, huh, that's pretty cool. But I don't care. It's still cool.
Death Island is supposed to go along with all the other animated movies.
Oh, I know, but they're still good movies. I'm just saying that it's interesting how it's Alcatraz, but it's like, I don't care. It's still cool.
What disappoints me is they had all the other characters, but they didn't have Ada.
Ada waifu. Yeah. I cry every time.
They did. Like, I don't understand why they had all these other main characters of all the other games, but then they just went, Ada, nah, fuck it.
Basically. But, yeah, well, I'm sure she'll be in the next one. She had, like, a huge thing in the last one, I think. Yeah, I think it was the last one. No, that was a Netflix crappy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one before that. Because the Netflix one with Leon was really bad. Like, it was just so predictable and bad. But anyway, let's wrap it up.
They didn't even get Matthew Mercer to voice fucking Leon.
Oof. Oh, I don't know. But he is a good.
Mercer is original.
He's great. But yeah, no, let's wrap it up because we gotta go. Well, we were gonna play Warhammer on top of that. Plus, we're just rambling now. So, do the outro.
Let's go play Warhammer.
Do the outro.
Do the outro. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for going along, and thank you to Robert for sharing all your stuff. If you'd like to continue to support, the continued development of Cepheus Protocol, we do also have a Patreon and Discord pledges. We also have a supporter pack on Steam. So we also have merchandise. Yeah. Yay. Anyway, thank you all for coming along, and we will catch you next time.
Indeedly.